Last night's shooting happened in front of this house on Beach 68th Street, and the residents of the home say that they heard between 5 to 6 gunshots. One of those bullets went right through their fence here, and they say even more went directly into their house while they were sitting in the living room. That thick black smoke that we were able to see from miles away, that is no longer lingering in the air. But that doesn't mean that the fire has been put out. The FDNY says that'll take days before that happens, so they are working around the clock to ensure that that happens. And now, decades of police evidence has been burned and destroyed. I did also donate blood today. That's why I have this wrapped around my arm here. And I did also get my voucher for 2 tickets for upcoming games. So if you get here soon enough, you'll be able to get your voucher as well, too. The only thing that remains of this crime scene right now are a few strands of police tape. It was a violent Sunday here in Brooklyn after 3 victims were shot in 3 separate instances in a very short time span, from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 11:30 at night. The mayor is feeling the pressure that the migrant crisis is putting on the city, so he is visiting the border today to see it up close and personal. Now, he initially said that the price to support these migrants was $1 billion. He now says up to $2 billion is needed. An estimated 40,000 migrants have arrived here in New York City since the crisis began last year.
We need help.
Mayor Eric Adams calling the load on the city unsustainable, saying we are at our breaking point. Based off our projections, we anticipate being unable to continue sheltering arriving asylum seekers on our own. A migrant family from Colombia are huddled on a corner in Flatbush, Brooklyn Friday night. Andrea, the mother, says she doesn't know what's next.
It's been a very difficult experience.
All the migrants are beneficiaries of New York City's right to shelter or legal obligation to house the homeless. Adams calls the lack of federal response inhumane and irresponsible and is asking for more resources. South Bronx Mutual Aid says additional state or federal aid is not the answer.
What we need is long-term permanent housing. That needs to be the solution instead of these band-aids that are not going to be a solution for anyone.
During his visit to El Paso today, Adams will make multiple stops at the U.S.-Mexican border. He says the city has opened 4 humanitarian relief centers and 74 emergency shelters, but Adams claims it's still not enough.
None of our small or large cities should be experiencing this.
And the Biden administration is touting a new app, which they're calling a regulated alternative to illegally crossing the border. Now, the app is called CBP One, and it allows migrants to enter their information and upload a picture before requesting an appointment and entry at one of 8 border crossings. The mayor wraps up his visit to the border tomorrow. We're live outside City Hall. Michelle Ross, Pix 11 News.
I'm just reattaching my brake.
Working on bicycles means being given another opportunity at life for Quansay Herring.
I literally knew nothing about bikes. I did not know the complexity of bikes. I did not even know bikes had more than 5 parts.
The 20-year-old was in the juvenile justice system and says the court referred him to a jail alternative program. Determined to learn a new skill, he got accepted into the Bike Path program at the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
We strived to kind of level the playing field and give people second chances. Finding a good quality, stable job that pays well is not easy, especially when you've had so many barriers in your life.
The program is a partnership between Bike New York and One Community. In 4 weeks, students of all ages and backgrounds learn to become bike mechanics to hopefully be employed by a company called Motivate to work on city bikes.
If Motivate likes them after they interview them and see what they could do, they'll hire them. If they don't have to. So far, every one of our students got hired.
They're getting close to their 100th job placement.
You always want to make sure you go back and forth, back and forth.
Nellie Wilkins is 41 and has many trades. She says it's never too late to learn a new one.
I'm already messing with the gears. I'm already fixing brakes. I done took my wheel off, put it back on. Yes, I've done a lot with the bikes.
She actually already has a job lined up to start working on the city bikes and can't wait to begin. Assembly member Emily Gallagher allocated a $10,000 grant, which helps extend the program into the end of the year. The bikes they work on are donated. Many are in bad shape. But just like the students, they're given a second chance too.
Instead of these bikes going to the scrapyard or the garbage, like as if somebody left them on the side of the street, we're actually diagnosing the problems and one by one taking care of these problems.
And in 2 weeks, they will have a beautiful graduation ceremony here at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. They'll receive their certificates and then start applying to those jobs at City Bike. The program hopes to extend to all 5 boroughs. at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Michelle Ross, Pix 11 News.